Okay, we're going to try out another new song now. Again, it picks up a theme from the first half, and it's about another volunteer for the Spanish Civil War, except this time, when we often hear about the combatants, we hear a little bit less about the nursing support that went in there. And this is a song about a redoubtable lady who passed away at the beginning of last year, I think at the age of 101. Her name was Penny Fievel. And she was apolitical, really, and just, I think she started getting involved in the labour movement and catering for various marches that were going on at that time before the Second World War, and sort of fell into it, really. And it became clearly a salutary turning point for her life. And being called Penny, she was, of course, known as the English Penny. And I live in dread with this song if there are church-going people in the audience, because I was brought up at an inner-city parish in Middlesbrough, and I used to stand alone on a Sunday morning because basically there were no houses in the parish, and I used to sort of sing hymns, not solos, but just sing along, and I think the modalities of this sort of music just caught me there, and I've stayed with it ever since. But I live in dread that coming off after one of these concerts and someone says, well, you might think you've written that tune, but actually it's hymn number 327. Because it has a sort of a hymn-like quality to it. It starts with the chorus, and again, you'd be very welcome to join in. But this is called The English Penny, and it really tries to capture a discussion between her in her nursing home, talking about her experiences of nursing in the Spanish Civil War with those of a modern care home nurse. So this is The English Penny. They knew that as the day of battle it drew nearer, and the sun's bright rays o'ercame the dark of night, with the armory of her station gleaming clearer, English Penny, she stood ready for the fight. Oh, sister, you have asked to hear my story, and I confess it seems a world away, when heroes fought for principles, not glory, and the sound of battle thundered every day. They knew that as the day of battle it drew nearer, and the sun's bright rays o'ercame the dark of night, with the armory of her station gleaming clearer, English Penny, she stood ready for the fight. It rained in 37 at Albacete, there to work with nurses brave and good. At Tarancon, Jarama and Brunete, in the days when Spain was red with Spanish blood. They knew that as the day of battle it drew nearer, and the sun's bright rays o'ercame the dark of night, with the armory of her station gleaming clearer, English Penny, she stood ready for the fight. And unlike the calmness of this room I lie in, it's the dreadful sounds of battle still I hear, the chaos of the transports to the front line, and the bombing raids when children called in fear. They knew that as the day of battle it drew nearer, and the sun's bright rays o'ercame the dark of night, with the armory of the station gleaming clearer, English Penny, she stood ready for the fight. And unlike the coolness of an English autumn, I still feel the cruel Mercian sun, working day and night with army surgeons, all to heal the damage wrought by shell and gun. They knew that as the day of battle it drew nearer, and the sun's bright rays o'ercame the dark of night, with the armory of her station gleaming clearer. English penny, she stood ready for the fight, and unlike the softness of this bed I lie in, it's the endless toil of nursing I recall, dividing up the living from the dying in the makeshift wards in burnt-out schools and halls. They knew that as the day of battle it drew nearer, and the sun's bright rays o'ercame the dark of night, with the armory of her station gleaming clearer. English penny, she stood ready for the fight, and quite unlike this sober conversation, it's the strutting demagogues that I abhor, that play upon the basest of emotions, all to march young men and women off to war. They knew that as the day of battle it drew nearer, and the sun's bright rays o'ercame the dark of night, with the armory of her station gleaming clearer. English penny, she stood ready for the fight. Thank you very much. Thank you.